Hello everyone and welcome back to Your Weapon Rolls Are Bad and You Should Feel Bad, where we are going to go over the new season of the Seraph weapons and talk about weapon rolls. Pretty typical seasonal content from ya boy. Trying to do this a bit earlier in the season than I usually do, and Deepstone weapons are going to be discussed in their own video when it becomes the featured raid. Let's start with the return of Ikelos weapons. We're going to go hand cannon first. All of the updated Ikelos weapons will make Warmind cells. Not that there's a whole lot of urgency for that at the moment. In terms of minor perks, again, my advice tends to be the same for most weapons. 9 out of 10 times we're going for range, recoil control, or magazine perks. This means corkscrew, arrowhead, or extended barrel. This means accurized rounds, tac mag, extended mag. Seraph rounds are back, which basically combines armor piercing and ricochet rounds. Very popular choice. Very good choice. If that is available on your gun, it's likely very good. First off, this is a 180 RPM hand cannon. Not my favorite archetype. Not a huge PvE favorite whatsoever. The PvP perks on this thing are lacking as well, to the point where I'm not sure you should even bother unless one of the Iron Lord PvP YouTuber gods tell you to scoop one up. For PvE, the easy suggestion is Rapid Hit and Frenzy. Two very strong perks, classic combination, reload and damage, love it. If you want to rotate Frenzy out for Rampage, feel free, or even One For All, although One For All I'm not as crazy about if you're not in endgame content. We have a new perk here, Offhand Strike, where final blows give bonus range, stability, and accuracy when hip firing. Why this perk is listed as high as it is on light.gg, I have no idea. This is not a hipfire weapon. Everything else in the first column is pretty uneventful in my opinion. Second column, I'm only going for Golden Tricorn or Repulsor Brace if I am spec'd for it, if I have a build to support those perks, otherwise I'm passing on them. The Ikelos Shotgun. Again, I don't think the perks on this gun make it a PvP weapon, so we're going to pass on that. PvE minor perks, because this is more PvE oriented, we're looking for mag perks in that column with some sort of range bonus on the barrel. Main perks, actually a good amount of options here in the second column. 1-2 punch, even though it got nerfed. Trench barrel if you want to spam damage. Incandescent, which I'm not still personally wild about, but others are. Then we have this new perk called Cascade Point, where final blows or sustained precision hits with another weapon increase this weapon's rate of fire for a short time. So, kill, 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 swap to this, and go beast mode for a few seconds. Certainly very appealing given the role of the special weapon, and it is already quite popular. Any one of these perks works. I think it's just a matter of preference. First column, though, I don't think any of these are as wildly strong, but they're all viable. Grave Robber, Threat Detector, Feeding Frenzy. They're all pretty mid-tier overall. Grave Robber is a nice choice because of how slow it can be to reload a shotgun. Threat Detector, it's similar vibes. You're rarely going to get Feeding Frenzy stacked that high, but it's okay. Nothing wrong with trying out Offhand Strike either, but again, it's a hip-fire thing. Masterwork, I guess we're going for range. The Sniper, again, snipers, currently not really that popular, but things could change in Lightfall. Bungie has said that they're trying to shake things up. If I'm using a sniper, I probably want a boss damage setup. So 4th times and Focus Fury, or maybe Overflow instead of 4th times if you're not confident in your critting abilities, but if you're not confident in your critting abilities, I'm not sure how much you're going to like Focused Fury. That's the only thing that I really want on this sniper, honestly, with the way things are right now. I think other perk combinations might become viable in the future if snipers get some love, but right now, I just want a good sustained weapon for big targets. That's all. PvP, again, I don't know if I'm touching this weapon either. The Ikelos SMG, widely considered one of the better weapons of the Ikelos set, has one PvE perk that everybody wants, and that is Volt Shot. Volt shot, volt shot, volt shot, gimme, gimme, gimme. Everything else, who cares? Maybe Frenzy, but you are doing yourself a disservice by not getting Volt Shot on this gun for PvE, period. First column perk, Feeding Frenzy. Very easy choice to make. Done. That's it. Feeding Frenzy, Volt Shot. Done. PvP-wise, Killing Wind Rangefinder, looking like a pretty smart choice. Maybe Dynamic Sway instead of Killing Wind if you want something that's a bit more active without a kill. Perpetual Motion is an option if you're into Perpetual Motion. Seraph rounds and Hunt for range. This is a weapon without a ton of top tier rolls, but the top tier rolls are really top tier. Let's move to the non-Ikelos offerings, starting with Fire and Forget, the new linear fusion hotness. Everyone is looking for a Reed's Regret replacement for boss damage in case you weren't doing trials, and this has replacement potential, mainly because it is a 3-burst linear fusion with Vice Stinger and its stasis. And people want stasis because creating stasis wells for Font of Might is on demand and easy. The odds of proccing Vice Stinger at some point is pretty high too, which is good, because the perks otherwise are, you know, not spectacular. No triple tap, no clown cartridge, no 4th times, none of that. Just field prep. That's really about it for the first column. Not that field prep's bad, but it's just field prep. The second column, not too crazy either. Vorpal is a flat 10% bonus damage. Frenzy is 15% after a short windup. Then you got Focused Fury 2, although you need to hit a lot of crits to get it to proc. But this is something to have in the back pocket. But if you have a top quality Reeds, I don't think there should be a huge hurry for this unless some new information comes out. PvP-wise, let's just move on. Tripwire Canary is an arc bow, another arc bow. The appeal here is the ability to get Dragonfly in the first column. That's normally a second column thing. So we can do Dragonfly and Frenzy, or Explosive Head, or Successful Warm-Up. Am I super crazy about Dragonfly? Not really. I'd rather have Archer's Tempo, but that's your decision to make. Second column perk, Explosive Head, Successful Warm-Up, Frenzy ain't bad either. Pretty typical bow affair, nothing too crazy going on otherwise, and go for accuracy when it comes to your minor perks. Disparity, Stasis Pulse Rifle, 4-burst Stasis Pulse Rifle. A lot of viability here perk-wise for everything. Rapid Hit, Kill Clip, keeping it basic, sticking to the fundamentals. Maybe Frenzy instead of Kill Clip, getting a little more PvE with it. Outlaw instead of Rapid Hit, that's more of a personal preference. Heating Up instead of a reload perk, also a personal preference, a little more PvP focused. Headstone instead of a damage perk, now you're doing a stasis build. Desperado is there. I don't know how many people are using post-nerf Desperado in PvP, but it is there, I suppose. Maybe it gets unnerfed. A lot of options. There are so many good perk combinations here that it's tough to go wrong. Go for range with your minor perks. Path of Least Resistance, the Trace Rifle, Arc Trace Rifle. This weapon also has Volt Shot. And one might think that having Volt Shot makes this perk an auto pick, but there are better weapons out there for applying Volt Shot, like the Ikelos SMG, like Brigand's Law from Season 18. It's not like it's going to be bad or anything, but this weapon has anti-reload perks like Triple Tap, which is already weird to see on a Trace Rifle, and Subsistence. There isn't anything to help you reload faster to proc another Volt Shot. However, the idea here is to probably kill something, reload, apply Jolt to a bigger target, and then beam the hell out of that bigger target to AoE everything else down. In that case, okay. Am I in a rush to get this locked and loaded? Not really, but there's absolutely some potential there, especially if you love Trace Rifles. And they are pretty good. Go for Enhanced Battery and Arrowhead. Reload Speed Masterwork. Should be good. Judgment of Kelgorath, a solar glaive. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm not glaive guy. I know very little about glaives. I don't use them. I haven't used them since the launch of Witch Queen. So I think you should consult with a glaive expert if you're looking for really solid glaive roll advice. But I do know perks. And I do know that glaive reloads tend to be on the slow side. So Demolitionist in the first column, given the state of the sandbox, is very appealing, with most of the other perks being so-so options. In the second column, Incandescent is again a fan favorite. Melee kills do not proc Incandescent, you do need to kill with a projectile. Surrounded seems good in this season in particular because of passive-aggressive guard from the seasonal artifact, but when that mod is not around, maybe I'm not as crazy about it. I mean, hell, Close to Melee looks pretty interesting too. I just don't have that much data on it this early in the season. Go for range and magazine perks for your minor perks. Finally, Retrofit Escapade, the 900 RPM Void machine gun. I do not know many people using 900 RPM machine guns. That being said, this weapon does have some awesome perks on it, including Target Lock, new perk, which gives you increased damage the longer you shoot at a target. Bit more single target focused. Me personally, I'm using machine guns for ad clear, not necessarily boss damage, so I would rather opt for Rampage, One for All, Frenzy, even Golden Tricorn if I build into Golden Tricorn. First column has 4th times the charm. Pretty cheeky pick there. 900 RPM machine guns, kind of tough to control. I think I'd rather have something a bit more consistent, unless you happen to find a target with a gigantic crit spot that lets you just shoot forever. This means taking Stats for All, Feeding Frenzy, or Heating Up to help with recoil control a bit more versus having bonus reload speed. Again though, it's a 900 RPM machine gun. They're not really the most popular. Go for range and recoil and magazine perks. Okay, 10 more weapons to go get crafting patterns for. Plus another 6 with Deepstone. That's a lot. That's a lot. Do yourself a favor and prioritize. Ikelos weapons. Maybe hunt down that SMG first. Seraph weapons, I'm going for Fire and Forget as a Reed's backup, and then honestly, I'm not super enthused by most of the other offerings. But as people get more time with the weapons and high tier selections come out, maybe something's a sleeper pick, then you can try to get those patterns or craft that weapon and level it up. Don't go too crazy. I'm also going to have a video on the top weapons that I think you should have craftable before the year is up, sometime later in the season. Sorry, the expansion year, not like 2022, you know what I mean. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.